Hello everyone, my name is Abby Corback.
My name is Alyssa Fields.
Today we're going to be talking about our project which focuses on mental health resources provided by Fitchburg State to its students.
In response to the text, wait what? Our question is, I wonder if, despite the problems associated with the pandemic, we can improve communication with new students about Fitchburg State University's mental health services. The root of the question, I wonder if, is what keeps us engaged with the current system and motivates us to make improvements.
I don't really know much about it. I don't really know how I would go about getting that type of support.
Not much, like health-wise. I know I've met with like my advising counselors a lot, but other than like academic counseling, I haven't really heard much about it.
I mean, I really don't know a lot.
I know not a lot about counseling services. I just know that they're there. I feel as if I were experiencing mental health issues, I'd be kind of nervous to go.
Probably not, just because I haven't been here very long and I don't really know any of the adults.
Other than my teachers, who I don't have as great as a connection as I did like in high school because we haven't obviously met face to face. So there's like that missing relationship.
So our first question for you is, how is the information regarding counseling services on campus communicated to the students at Fitchburg State?
What we've been trying to do is get it through virtual means. So our website has been updated with all of the information. There is a blurb on there for counseling services that says how things are looking during this time. We sent out an email blast to students as well. And we also have an Instagram account, Fitchburg State Wellness. So that's another means we've been trying to reach students at in terms of what we're providing and how to get in touch with us.
Have COVID-19 restricted certain areas of your counseling services, and what are specific ways which your department has adjusted to COVID-19?
Much like most other offices, we've really tried to adapt as much as we can. Right now, because of the pandemic, everything is virtual. So we've secured a telehealth platform. So Google Meet, we have a contract essentially that protects confidentiality. We've worked with Google on that. So all our sessions right now are taking place remotely. And for students that maybe don't have a private space in their dorm room, we have reserved some spaces in the Hammond building, and they can go there if they need a more confidential space to meet with us remotely. I think a lot of it is, as much programming as we can do. I know we've been talking to counseling services about how we can do more programming, whether it's virtual or on the ground in a way that's safe to get people involved, promote awareness. I know different departments on campus have been trying to think of ways to get students engaged too, around self-care, kind of getting out there and supporting each other and supporting their mental health. But I think a big part of it right now is outreach. Whatever programming we can do to reduce stigma and let people know that we're here.
It might be helpful if we were to meet with a counselor at some point in the semester, just that we know one of them and we know who to reach out to if we need to.
I think maybe just like more emails about like counseling opportunities and stuff.
Maybe host some events where they can talk about mental health or just promote the services that they have for mental health.
Make it known that you do have help. Spread the word.
Now, with these various ideas for potential improvements in mind, these are me and Abby's ideas for potential improvements counseling services can make to their communication towards freshmen. Now, our first example is a simple improvement they can make to their website. So if you look up counseling services on Google and you click the first link, it brings you to the counseling services website. And the information provided on the website is actually very useful if you didn't know how to go about getting help. It gives you all the information you could need. But there's a simple improvement you could make. When you go into the section that says counseling staff, it brings you to a page that has all of the different counselors at the college, and it has a list of their names. And in our opinion, it would be helpful to add an About Me section where you could have a little bit of information about the counselor, about their personality, their experience, and just a little bit about them in general. So when students are looking for outreach, they'd feel more comfortable. Our next potential change involves having a counselor present at the different buildings that have larger capacities on campus. In order to meet specifically the needs of freshmen, we could focus simply on Russell Towers and Abashan. And our idea is to add office hours in the housing buildings. So 1 to 2 hours a week, once a week, a counselor would be present in the building, and this would allow the counselors to build a community amongst the students in the building and it would make the students feel more comfortable knowing that they have at least one figure in the school that they already know. Another idea we had was to add a mandatory meeting with counselors. Every student automatically has a mandatory meeting, at least freshmen, with their academic advisor, so why not add one for counseling, which is equally as important? It would allow new students to get to know one staff member. This meeting doesn't necessarily need to involve a student delving into their problems related to their mental health, but it would more serve as an introduction to a staff member, so when they have a problem in the future, they would feel comfortable meeting with this staff member and would already have that sort of connection beginning. A couple other additional small changes we would make would be to send a couple more emails to students to remind them about counseling services presence. And finally, we would add a presentation to future orientations about counseling services, which would give students information about what counseling services provides and also would serve as that introduction to the different staff members. Although some of our potential ideas may be difficult to implement due to COVID-19 restrictions, we hope the university considers our recommendations to counseling services.